Good afternoon on what is a bright, warm and sunny day. It is Wednesday, September the 14th, and I have my hot cup of tea. And a parcel from box. And this one has come from Leisure Games, so I've been buying things again. And inside, I've got all this. Let's have a look. I have a big pile of old school essentials modules which were released with the previous Kickstarter, so the Isle of the Plantagenet Mage, Holy Mountain Shaker, the Incandescent Grottos, Halls of the Blood King, a Hole in the Oak, and the Old School Essentials Retro Adventure Game official fanzine Carcass Crawler. Now these have come back in and print have been a little bit difficult to get hold of, so when I saw they were available, I grabbed the lot. Really was a case of, okay, when else was I going to be able to get hold of them? That was the issue. So let's have a look, just grab the first one here and have a look at it. So, okay. And this is The Hole in the Oak by Gavin Norman. It's an official adventure scenario for Old School Essentials. Published by Necrotic Gnome via Exalted Funeral, and is written by the designer of Old School Essentials. Now, if you've not seen it, Old School Essentials is a retro game. It is specifically based upon Basic Dungeons and Dragons, the version designed by Tom Mulvey and Stephen R. Marsh, and published in 1980-81, and is known as the BX version. And it's, as a retro claim, it's sort of become one of the ones that people turn to for a couple of reasons. One, it's really kind of a simple game system, but the other is that the presentation of the Old School Essentials rules are amazing. Clear, simple, clean layout, and everything where it can be presented on 2 pages. So the fighter class, 2 pages. How magic works, a couple of pages, and so on, that sort of thing, and it does it again and again to make things really accessible. But the Hole in the Oak is a hole in an oak leads characters down to a maze of twisting root-riddled passageways, the chambers of an ancient disposed complex, and the banks of an underground river where once a reptile cult built their temples. A classic dungeon adventure for characters of 1st to 2nd level, and this is the 2nd printing. Okay, so inside, what we have got is a nice big kind of dungeon map, and that's a sheet. You've got, it's also the back of the table is random happenings rather than a reprinting of the map itself. But I do like having that at the back. That really kind of puts things in context. Easy, let's say. Oh, sorry, not sorry, context, but in an easy to find fashion. And then we have this table of contents, dungeon areas, an introduction about this adventure, what Old School Essentials is, and explains it's for characters levels 1 to 2, and the nature of the mythic underworld. And then it talks vaguely about campaign setting that may be placed in any enchanted stretch of wild forest. This region is referred to in the text as the Magical Forest. Now, the thing is, Old School Essentials, and in particular Gavin Norman, does have his own setting of a magical forest, Dolmen Wood, so that you can take this adventure and drop it into the Dolmen Wood. Now, I don't know whether he does actually refer to Dolmen Wood in here. It would have been nice, I think, if he didn't, that he would have. I probably would have preferred that he had. Anyway, so we've got adventure overview. So we've got a history, the various factions, Bozora, the Imperishable, the Reptile Cultist, and the White League. A list of unanswered mysteries, factions in the dungeon and relationships between them, and the nature of the underground river. So yeah, and then we get on to rumours and treasure to be found on the table. A couple of tables there. Basically, hopefully push the key characters to act, and then we have area descriptions. Starting off with the dungeon entrance, bottom of the shaft, junction, and here's what they're doing. It's quite subtle, but it's quite clever. So you've got the room descriptions here, a nice sort of piece of illustration, but you've got the map excerpt up there, quite subtly placed there, but clever enough that you can clear enough that the game master, the referee, can see where it is. So there's just 4 locations marked there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And they come from this section down here, and it saves the game master the time and effort of sort of like flipping back a few pages to the dungeon, to the dungeon map, and then it's a bit more obvious, but it's still quite understated in the way that it's done with this inclusion of the excerpt from the map within the dungeon room descriptions themselves. That's very well done, and it's just going to go through that, doing it again and again, and it's a really nice piece of design, and all accompanied with this kind of almost sort of twisted cartoonish artwork. And even where you've got quite a shift in the locations you do have. So for example, you've got enough space to handle one room location, but not that room location, so that's repeated up here, just off here. That again, very nicely done. I'm going to keep going back to that. The layout is exceptional. So inside you've got locations such as a shadow gardener, one of the sort of like monsters, and a subterranean jungle. And then you get the bridge over the river, and you get to the Hall of the Queens. There's a hidden crypt to be found. Back through sentry pillars, face doors, piles of sand, and a hidden closet. So yeah, fantastic layout, clean presentation. Thoroughly impressed. Holes and crevices. A lizard bay along the river, and then across that we've got a waterfall and a fishing bay, and so on. All quite closely, quite a close, compact dungeon, in fact. And then we get into the worshippers, the stump, the waterfall, and we've got the guard post. The cloak room beyond, and essentially you have sort of like a bit more. Basically, one problem is basically you're flipping back and forth between the pages there, but that's not too much of a hardship. And you've got a whole list of heretical gnomes there. Hall portraits, communal kitchens, so on. Grim and Gribble's room, and then we have pictures of Grim and Gribble themselves. And then at the end we have notes on expanding the dungeon. And then lastly, random happenings so of events and so on, which the game master referee can put into the path of her player characters. So yeah, that's the Hole in the Oak. Now, as I say, this is easy to drop into a Dolmen Wood. I don't know whether, as I say, whether he actually mentions Dolmen Wood anywhere in here. Other than that, drop it into your Enchanted Forest as a dungeon to be explored. Yeah, so that's Hole in the Oak by Gavin Norman for Old School Essentials Official Adventure Scenario. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook. If you have, then please do click on the like button down below. And if you've got any comments or feedback, I appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to yet more unboxings in the Nook, where you will see me out here with a parcel, containing, well, in this case, quite a few books, one of which I will unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea. Then please do hit that subscribe button down below. In the meantime, thank you for watching another unboxing in the Nook. I'll be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.